interview preparation for a PSW student from UK. He went from Pakistan to UK on a student visa after studying with us. While doing his degree, he also completed his advancement tracks with us as well. So Alhamdulillah, now he's going for basically his interview preparation, his job preparation now. He's going through the job process. After completing his degree in MS, he's now basically looking for good suitable jobs. Normally what happens is that when people who complete the degrees in UK, they're not able to find jobs. Normally they apply for 1,000, 2,000 applications per week, or sometimes like in a month, sometimes in a week, hundreds and hundreds of applications. In a month, they end up applying and sending roughly 1,000 applications, but they're not able to get any job, basically interviews. The reason is that in their resume, they lack basically the key internship skills, the key skills that are required by the job market. Because university, they prepare you, they leave you here, but this is the job market. These are the universities. They're supposed to connect you with the employer, but they don't do that. They just give you the education, which is all purely academic based. And then the students, they struggle to find a job, right? Our goal at An-Nafi is to ensure that we teach you the job description from day one, so that when you go there for your interviews, you're fully prepared. You are already able to answer all the questions that they're asking or they're looking for, right? So that is the key requirement at An-Nafi that we do. In today's interview preparation, we're going to go through all the key things as it relates to basically as he scored his first interview. So Uthman bin Affan, can you please explain to me your first interview, how you made it and how you went through? Can you unmute yourself and can you quickly just go through all of those things in a quick summary, please?
Yes, sir. Is my voice audible to you?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, sir. Alhamdulillah, sir, the first interview went very well. So this started from the information security concepts. The first question they asked me, what information security concept that you have implemented in your previous role. So I explained the more specific role. So then he said me the more generic one that So then I said the CIA, the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So they give me a scenario just show me how did you implement these concepts in your previous role. So, and after that, they asked me about related the penetration testing. So for the penetration testing, they also created the scenario they have one lock on which they forget the passcode that they put on the lock. So how you will unlock, how you will break the password here. Another thing related to the penetration testing. So it was one slide where the different hashes was available. So he said me we have the database of the passwords where we have the multiple hashes. So how you can crack the password. So it's this is another question related to ISO 27001. So ask me about the risk assessment methodologies that you performed in your previous role. So which one you prefer, or which one you think is more better, or so these are the questions that he asked me. The duration of interview was 35 to 40 minutes.
Okay. So you passed the first interview. Now they would like to talk to you about the second interview, right?
Yes, sir. Alhamdulillah, the first interview
you got the second interview date as well, and everything is done?
Yes, sir. It was already scheduled. I got the date.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in quickly because I asked you for the job description and everything. Now, the first thing you need to understand is what is the basic salary in Germany right now? right? The basic salary in Germany, as of right now, right? It ranges, if I share my screen with you, you can see that. Let me share my screen. Normally, what happens is this, like the basic salary. So we're going to go through all the key things to make sure that we understand the key requirements, what needs to be done, etc., right? So the basic requirement for cybersecurity roles in Germany uh, as a junior role is roughly 67,000 euros to 62 to 67,000 euros, right? This is for IT security consultant. Uh, if I convert that, 67,000 means 57,000 British pound. That's a good salary. Okay. So know what you have to ask. There is a minimum salary you need to ask for your blue card, right? And that has to be minimum. That has to be 5,000 euros per month, right? Which translates to roughly 4,200 British pound. So that translates to around 5,000 euro means 60,000 euro per annum. Okay. So know this, that have this in the back of your mind, that when they talk about the salary, what are your expectations? Tell them, I'm looking anywhere, offer me a good position and let me see what you have. And then I will make a decision, because there are other positions that I'm also getting offers from as well, right? Uh, I'm going to put you on mute. The other thing, because I know that you are at work right now, doing your odd job as a security guy. The other thing you have to mention is that, uh, it all depends. I mean, for me, this company, Swarco, has a lot to offer because, it's working in the cutting edge technologies, in the digital transformation of cities and countries and whatnot. And I'm really interested in working because I see a lot of potential in working for Swarco. But the only thing is that obviously, financially, I would like to know two things are important to me. A couple of things, no, don't say two, but say a couple of things are important to me. The first thing is that you have already gone through the DevOps and SysOps. You have already gone through all the training, all the internship with us at Annafe, right? So you don't have to worry about that. You have already gone through the diploma in cloud cybersecurity courses, the diploma in DevOps courses, and then diploma in SysOps courses, right? So you've already gone through all of those things. Now, one of the things you have to mention is there are a couple of things which are very important for me, before I can select an organization. The first thing I would like to know is, the scope of my work. I see a great potential in this organization because you have a lot of solutions right now, and you are working in the cutting edge technologies of work, right? So that is very appealing to me. That is very appealing to me. So that is a good indicator for me, and I accept that. The second thing which is appealing to me, just give me 1 minute. Me, and I accept that. And the second thing which is appealing to me is basically, my growth opportunities, how I can grow within this organization. As the organization grows, I would like to see myself growing within the organization, right? And that's what is important to me. And I see that I can play a very vibrant role because I come from cloud background. I have the cloud skills, the Linux. Started with Linux administration, the cloud architecture migration, the cloud creation, the Kubernetes migration of the applications, the digitization and the serverless application journey of various applications. I've done all of those things, right? And I'm also nowadays studying AI, artificial intelligence, as it relates to AWS Bedrock, Amazon, which belongs to Amazon. The other one is basically Google Bard, and also the OpenAI, as we all know it, known as Chat GPT, right? So there's a lot of things that I know about and I care about, right? Because I see everything as infrastructure as a code, right? Osman, this is the most important thing, because you have to highlight and touch all the key notes in your opening statement. I mean, why do you want to work here if they ask you? So you need to have a good answer in terms of explaining why exactly you want to work there, right? So explain to them about yourself, why you're selecting them, and then basically why exactly you want to work. So tell them, as the organizations and, cities and countries are going through this digital transformation journey, uh, I'm looking for an organization which gives me the opportunity to showcase my key skills as it relates to cloud, cyber security, compliance, GRC, governance, risk and compliance, cyber defense, offensive security, DevOps and SysOps and cloud architecture. And now I'm also putting in AI, artificial intelligence, and big data analytics as well. So there's a lot of things that I'm trying to merge, because every single thing, every single solution in this world, at some point or the other, will move towards the cloud, or has already moved towards the cloud, or it is in process of moving towards the cloud, right? So there can be only three scenarios: or they're using cloud, which is the first scenario, in one way or the other. So there's a lot of data, there's a lot of compliance issues, there's a lot of privacy issues, and there's a lot of things at stake. So, I'm looking for an organization where I can, sum up all of my skill set and my experience and my academic, degree, bring that on the front to ensure that I deliver the best in class service, because that's the attitude I have. When I come to work, I come in with the best attitude, and to ensure that I deliver the best in class service, right? That is me. If you ask me, who is Uthman bin Affan? That's me. This is who I am, right? As an individual, I always give my 100%, right? Size of the company, Uthman, this company has more than 5,000 employees. It was founded in 1969. It's a huge company. The revenue is above 1 billion USD. So this is a big group, right? It's not a smaller group. Looking at what they have and what they are doing, support the creation and implementation of security concepts. That's not a problem. Explain to them your strength comes from deep understanding and appreciation of cloud technologies. Key standards like ISO 27001, ISO 27017 for cloud security, ISO 27018 for cloud privacy, and some of the other ISO standards. That's where you bring in your strength, right? And basically, the weakness part is going to be that, I always feel that there is always something new to learn. So to compensate that weakness, because this is a dynamic field, it keeps on changing, new advanced persistent threats are evolving, new things are coming on the horizon. So I have to keep myself updated. This is very important for you, because you, Uthman, have to show the best picture of yourself. So whatever I'm saying, you have done all of those things at our internship program. You've done all the hard work. You came from Pakistan. Many of the students are coming from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Mexico, all over the world, Colombia, different countries, right? And they're coming to Europe to work. You have done your part. You did all of those things. You studied at the university. The university degree is as good as giving you the PSW, as you already know. But to get the job, it's your composure and basically your perspective of how you will present yourself, right? How you can show them that you are the most important person in this company, one of the most important person in this company, okay? One of the most important person, so that they see you as indispensable. They see you that you're not dispensable. They can't get rid of you. They say, no, we get this guy on the board because he's bringing cloud perspective, cyber security perspective, GRC perspective, compliance perspective, right? DevOps perspective, SysOps perspective, all the key things combined. So keep this in mind. It says, participate in the introduction, implementation of relevant information security standards. Again, this is where you have to mention the whole process of ISO 27001 from start to finish. Understand the context, review, perform a risk assessment, define the scope, and then perform the risk assessment. Go in, understand the policies and procedures, identify the gaps, and plug in the gaps. It says, work together with your team in the active implementation of information security risk management processes, security audits, and risk assessments. So this is where you have to mention performing 27,000 and 5 standards, risk assessment as per 27,005, 31,000 for the GRC, whatever it is, you can get those things done. You can deliver those things. So you have to highlight all the key things to ensure that they see you as the most important individual, right? Support in the continuous evaluation of current IT security situations, practices, and systems, as well as identification of potential or for improvement and advice and strategies. Now, one thing is for sure, I have gone through their website. They have many jobs on their website right now. If I go for open positions, I see a lot of positions open. And if I type in, I mean, one of the things that they have is if I type in IT software and development, and if I type in filter, they show me IT system administrator, SAP, they're using SAP, ERP, team lead cloud operations. So that means that they're looking for cloud operations guy. That means that they're absolutely using cloud. What kind of cloud? Let's see that as well quickly. Is it Microsoft Azure? Because we get an idea of looking at the job post, right? So they are utilizing, they're very clever. They haven't mentioned Kubernetes. So they've mentioned Kubernetes, right? So they are utilizing Kubernetes. What this means is that all of their applications are running as on a serverless architecture. So explain to them, I've seen that on your website that, you are using a Kubernetes environment. So this is where I can come in. I'm going through the Kubernetes exam myself. I did a lot of migration. As a Linux administrator, I had the first-hand knowledge. So I did a lot of migrations of moving traditional applications from EC2 instance over, traditional applications from physical web servers to EC2 instance to cloud instances, and then from EC2 instances over to EKS. So I've known all the key journey. What are the challenges that an organization faces? What are the security challenges, the operational challenges, the GRC challenges? I can bring in a lot of value on that. I can bring in a lot of value to ensure that we do these things in the right manner. So these are all the things you have to mention, because you have to sum up your experience. You have to bring up all the things that you know to make sure that they see you as the most important individual. So tell them, large scale cloud services and modularization. Tell them that in my company, in my previous company, I did all the work, everything because everything that they use is service oriented architecture. Everything is modular. Payment service is modular. Email system is modular. ERP in itself is modular. Every single thing is modular. Web servers are modular. One function per server. Everything is segmented. There is zero trust model implemented throughout the organization. So I'm bringing in all the value I have seen and I've used in your company, right? To ensure that we provide the best in class service. So that's what you have to highlight. Because if I look at the IT infrastructure and all these positions, IT software architect, I'm looking into all of these things to ensure, what I'm seeing that they're using Kubernetes. I'm seeing that they're using Azure. I'm not seeing any AWS, but tell them Azure, AWS, they're all the same. There's subtle differences, but at the end of the day, it's all the cloud technologies, right? The underlying how we use basically our machines, our applications, right? From one cloud to the other, or whatever the case is, it's the same. We use the same bash scripts, we use the same Ansible runbooks, we use the same Python Selenium on Python automation scripts. All of these things, they're done in the same way. If it comes, because in my existing role that I did, we used to follow the CIO ops pipeline. The CIO ops pipeline is like anything that is created by the DevOps team, by the development operations, the software developers and the operations team. It goes through different stage gate processes, right? These stage gate processes are very, very important because it gives us the highlight, right? So we are using primarily Python applications. Our stack is Python, but there is also basically Ruby on Rails and some other things as well going on. but primarily we are Python based. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, but there's a lot of .NET and other applications. But we do use Microsoft Security Development Lifecycle, right? And the IEC 27034 standard, right? For identifying security vulnerabilities within the applications. The NIST SP 800-218, which is the key standard for basically application security, right? And then the SP 800-160. This is also something that we follow. The other thing that we do is we also follow closely the technical management processes of software development lifecycle. For example, we use IEC 15288, which is the technical management processes, for systems security engineering, so that our security is embedded within the application, within the whole DevSecOps pipeline. So from project planning to project assessment and control, to decision management, to risk management, to configuration management, to information management, to measurements of the KPIs as per the CMMI, and lastly, quality assurance. So we go through the whole cycle, right? As part of that 15288, we also go through some of the system engineering processes, like, we have different teams and there are different artifacts created, which we manage in our wiki.js system. There's a system that we use. The ERP, I saw that you guys are using SAP. We are using a Python-based ERP known as ERP Next that we're using. It's a very comprehensive ERP, has all the same modules as SAP, but obviously the organization I'm working in has 1,000 people. Your organization has more than that. So obviously you guys are using SAP. Every organization has their own different requirements. I mean, we wanted to control our ERP in a much better fashion. So that's why we're using ERP Next. One of the things that we do in terms of making sure that the technical processes of the code, because, everything which which stays in the cloud is managed as a code. There is security as a code. There is GRC as a code. People don't know about it, but it's already on the horizon. And I've been on the forefront in terms of working within these things. There's also basically, infrastructure as a code, right? So all of these things, security as a code, GRC as a code, infrastructure as a code, all of these things, if you combine them, that is basically, we call it the CIO ops, the Chief Information Operation Ops, right? That's how the Chief Information Officer Ops, right? Our CIO, myself, that's me. He's a very hands-on guy. So, he has developed all of these things. So there are different stage gate processes to ensure security is embedded, risk management is embedded. Continuously, it is evaluated. Then every application goes to the serverless architecture. The pods are maintained properly. We are utilizing the CIS top 18 guidelines in terms of hardening our systems and all the best practices, right? So as I was saying, the 15288 technical processes, we go through mission analysis processes. We go through the stakeholder needs and requirements definition processes. What are the key requirements? Because every software in this company or any other company, you need to ensure that we look into stakeholder needs and requirements. Then system requirements, then architecture processes. Then we go into design processes. Then we go into system analysis processes. Then we go into implementation processes, integration processes, then the verification processes, transition processes, validation, operation, maintenance, and then lastly, disposal. All of these things, they follow a defined framework, which we call in our organization, Unified Risk and Compliance Framework, right? And that's what I've been trained to follow. I mean, in your organization, it might be something different. I don't know, right? If given the opportunity, I will evaluate your framework. It may be the best framework. If I see any areas of improvement, I will recommend some. Try to build in alliances to further improve the framework, because without alliances, we can't do anything, right? So that's what we do. We also look into the top 25 dangerous software weaknesses. These are the common weaknesses, human generation, the CWE. So before we roll out anything within production, I do an audit, a penetration testing, a web application pen testing, a network pen testing, vulnerability analysis, internal vulnerability analysis, external vulnerability analysis. It all starts with the internal mapping of the network, external mapping of the network, identify what processes, where they are, all of these things, right? So I do that. And then we also have the egregious 11. These are the Cloud Security Alliance recommendations. For example, we look into possible data breaches, how it can happen, misconfiguration and inadequate change control. That's another audit we perform. Lack of cloud security architecture and strategy. That's another thing that we check, right? Insufficient identity, credential, access, and key management. That's another thing that we check. Account hijacking. What happens then? Insider threat, insecure interfaces and APIs. The biggest problem organizations have is they have insecure interfaces and APIs. Weak control plane. Since everything is working as a code, we need to secure the management plane. Metastructure and apply structure failures, which are the application failures and the metadata failures. Limited cloud usage visibility. We shadow IT. Do we have the clear visibility? What is happening? Where the assets are? Are they accounted for within the cloud? And then abuse and nefarious use of cloud services. We don't want to be in a situation where our solutions and applications are hijacked from the cloud to be used for nefarious purposes, right? So these are all the things that we do. And for this, we use Stride and well-known models for threat management. These are all threat mapping and threat basically analysis processes of our applications. So that's how we have been managing, I've been managing things. Now, in your job, it also mentions, I'm going to open that, right? Support and ensure compliance, audit compliance and information security analysis, security policy, that's fine, cyber attacks, all of these things. I don't see anything else. It says general IT and software development skills. Tell them, this is the job I'm looking at. I'm going to share that quickly, right? So explain to them, yes, this is great. You guys are doing a great job, in terms of making sure that things are there. However, right? Oh, sorry. Give me 1 minute. Right? This is the job. So mention that, yes, I'm a security architect. I'm a security guy. My job is to make sure that I look into, assess their security, assess the risks. I'm very good in scripting, Bash scripting, Python automation, Python Selenium, Ansible, creating runbooks and stuff like that, Chef, Puppet, all of these things. However, I'm not a developer. I can classify myself as a Python developer, but calling myself as a developer would not be a wise statement because I still have a lot to learn. I know how to interact with APIs, how to get my information, how to pull information, get information, post information. However, I wouldn't call myself, a developer. I'm going there. I'm getting there. I would like to become one. That's important to have. I already have the cloud skills, the DevOps skills, the SysOps skills, the security, the GRC, the AI skills, and the big data skills. But yeah, software development is important. I'm getting there. But it already says general IT and software development skills. So yes, I have the general IT and software development skills. I don't have general IT. I would say, more IT skills, right? Knowledge of vulnerability scanning and penetration testing tools would be an advantage. You already have that. You've already explained to them. Methodical, solution-oriented, and independent working method with quick comprehension and complex IT and software landscapes. Just tell them, this is what excels. This is what provides me an opportunity. As I said, I'm already going for my Kubernetes exam. Kubernetes is something I'm very interested in because every organization is going towards containerization, right? And this is the age of the containers. Around 80% of the containers online on the internet is being managed by AWS. Google created the technology, but AWS perfected the technology, right? So yes, I mean, I'm very good at EKS from AWS, which is the Kubernetes, elastic Kubernetes, solution. This is where I am. But, I'm also going for my Kubernetes exam as well. And that provides me a very sound understanding of, IT and software landscapes. And as I said, I'm very deep in penetration testing, open source tools, proprietary tools, Qualys, Rapid7, out of the box tools, performing application testing in line with PCI DSS or penetration testing like PCI DSS, ISO 27017, or any of the key requirements. Our business requirements, they dictate what we really have to follow, right? That's it. That's pretty much it. I don't see anything else that is important right now that needs to be highlighted, right? So I know, Uthman bin Affan, you are at work. I ask you to go through all of these things. Go review this thing and then understand all the key aspects. If you have any questions, memorize each and everything that came out of my mouth, right? Write it down. Make sure that you follow as things are given to you. Write it down and memorize these things. You have 2 days. Your interview is either on Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. So today, half of the day is gone. So you have basically Monday and Tuesday. So I believe that your interview might be on something like Wednesday or something, or Tuesday, whatever the case is. Keep me updated. Do explain to them that, all you need is a job offer letter, and then you can apply for your work permit, right? If they ask you about all the things, do you need sponsorship or anything like that? The government in Germany is offering work permits, right? Right now, they're doing that. And ANAFE is already working on developing basically our qualifications, linking our qualifications with different universities so that students can study with us and they can go to different universities like in Finland, in Germany, and in other European countries to work and stay there and settle there on long-term basis. We are already working on that, right? So there's a lot of partnerships and collaborations we are establishing. So this is the opportunity for all the PSW students. Keep this in mind. No matter what you do, no matter what you study, these academic qualifications are only as good as getting you out of your country over to the European Union or North America or wherever you are, into the G20 countries, and then getting you a work permit. But when it comes to going and cracking the interview and getting the job, you need ANAFE. And if you all ask me what skill I need to have to make sure that I'm able to secure a job faster and much quicker, and that would be if I go to our website, anafe.com, right? The most important skill for you is going to be basically the AI ops, the system development and operations. Like, this is the track that can enable you and give you the skills of DevOps, SysOps, AI, cyber defense, offensive security, all the key things combined together in one singular package, and provides you the internship, the deep understanding of the of the organization, how things work, so on and so forth, gets you the resume, to prepare you for the interview, as I'm doing right now. There's a lot of interview preparation in the portal, right? It's already being uploaded. So you will go through all of those things, and that's what enables you to be successful with ANAFE. So I hope, Uthman, and I wish you the best. May Allah help you, all of you, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you are studying, whatever language you speak, or whichever country you belong to. I wish you all the best. I will see you in my next class. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu